And welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'll teach you what are operators in JavaScript in plain English term. So basically there are some basic operators in JavaScript which are like plus, minus, equals, divide, and other one is to find the remainder of a division. So these are the basic ones which we usually use. So plus is to do addition. So like if you want to add any two variables, like let's say you want to add age of, you want to add like your first name and last name, so then you can use plus variable. Or you want to add two numbers like 5 plus 10, then you can use this in JavaScript. So in programming, how do you use this variable? That's what I'm going to teach you. And then if you want to subtract, like if you had 50 rupees, if you had 50 pounds and then you ended up spending 10 pound, then you want to subtract and get the result and through the computer. So then you will do 50 minus 10 and use this. Then if you want to store your age in a variable called age, and your age is less than 19, so you can say let age equals 19 and you can store it there. And you can use divide, like 10 divided by 5 is equals 2, so 2 is was the divisor, basically the dividend. And then so to get this 2 you have to use this divide operator. So these are what operators. See, this is operator, equals is the operator, minus, addition, and then there is an operator called percentage. So 10 divided by 5 equals 2, but what's the remainder? 0. So how to find that remainder 0? For that you can use this percentage operator, like 10% 2, this will be come as 0, so that will be the remainder. How do you find it? So now I'll teach you in the video. Basically I'll take you to the VS Code. So I'll teach you basically how in JavaScript, I will literally teach you in plain English that how to use this variable step by step. So first thing I'll teach, we can start like, okay, so what is your name? Literally, what is your name? So I'll really want to teach you this really in an easy way that you really learn JavaScript and also how to use these operators in JavaScript. So, okay, so not name. So what is your age, right? I want to start with number, and just answer this question to yourself and just do as I do. And what you want to do is basically you want to calculate with me, and you will learn that what are variable and why do you use the variable. The most important thing, you'll ask me why do I want to use a variable, so I'll teach you why do you want to use a variable. So let's say you want to store your age into a variable, right? So how would you store your age? First of all, how would you calculate your age? I would say, okay, calculate your age. How would you calculate? So you will say that, okay, I can do something like declare a variable, right? First, so you will use constant because your age will be fixed right now. Let's say for today, as of now. So you'll say constant my age, and you can rate it like this. So constant, you'll say my age equals to, there is one way is to know what is the year today, 2022, and what year were you born in. So I was born in 1999. If I do this and if I console.log my age, then I can get my age, right? So this is a way you can use a operator. So what operator did we use here? Yeah, equal operator. And what other operator we use here is a minus operator. So there are two operators used here, a minus to subtract this number from this number, and to store the answer into this number. And then basically you can say, okay, other, now I will try to show you what is the other variable you can use. Again, how you can use the equal variable. So now you want to say computer, like what is your income? So I'll say, okay, what is your income, right? This is basically in plain English. How do you ask anyone like what is your income? So if you want to ask it to computer, you have to store into a variable, right? So what I'll do, I'll say that, so your income can change. So I can use let type to store it, and I'll say let income equals to, let's say in a month and 3,000 pounds. So I'll write here 3,000, right? And if I want to log it later on, I'll just write income here, right? Easy. So what did I use here? I wanted to tell computer that this is my income, and later on I want this income, like I want you to tell me what was my income. So what can I use? I can store it inside this variable income, and I can use the operator equals to store it. I hope you understood it here. Now what? Now there are more questions. So let's say this year I got a bonus, right? I got a bonus from my workplace, and which was like around £1,000, so extra £1,000, right, in a month. So what can I say that okay, what is my new income? Or so how do I declare it? I declare it using let, and I'll say new or total, I can say, right, total income. So my total income would be last income, right, plus £1,000, isn't it, like this. So then if I go and log total, I'll just copy this one. So if I go and do this, now I get the total income. So see how I am doing it. What did I do here? I did plus operator to add a number to a previous number which I already have. So you cannot do like this. You cannot add a number to a string. You cannot do this, like this, and then you cannot do this, like something like this. That doesn't make sense. What you can do is add a number to a number, right, like this. And now what? So now more questions are like, okay, so basically I also like reality, like in this month I had some expenses and I spent it money. So I spent it on food, I spent it on travel, and I spend it on stocks. I like to buy stocks. I spend it on these three things. So how can I store it? How can I tell computer that what are these values and how do I store it? So I can use let, and I can say what was it? Food. So food I spent like £300. I can write 300 here. That's literally I'll tell computer how to store my expand on food. And then I can do the same thing for, let's say, travel. I spend like £100, right? So I'll write 100 here, £100, and then I'll say let, and then what was my stocks. So I like to buy stocks, and I ended up spending £500 on stocks, like this. That's how literally you say computer, and literally computer storing it into its memory, right? And now what? So what's my expense? These all are my expense, right? So I want to know that what's my the total expense is basically. So I can create a variable expense. So I'll say let expense, right? So my let expense would be food plus travel plus stocks. So what I would do, I would even add like this 300 here, like basically 300 plus 100 plus 500. Then that would not be a good code writing. Then later on if I need these values again, I'll again have to write 300, 100 and 100, right? Or in the future, let's say I started spending more on food, then everywhere in the code I'll have to go and change that thing. But if I declare this here, food plus travel plus stock, doesn't matter. If this value change everywhere in the code, it will change. So that's a good habit, to declare a variable, store the value in it, and then call that variable, like how I'm doing right now. So with this, I'll get to know my expense, isn't it? And I have my expense here, right there. And so basically now you'll say me, okay, I'll be like, what is the total saving you do? And I want to store this value into computer, right? So how can I say? I can again declare a variable like final saving, and then I can say that okay, what was my total income and what was my expense? So isn't it gonna be my final saving? So forget about this thing. This total income minus expense, literally in plain English, like you have an income which was like around, what was it, £4,000, and your expense was around 500, 800, 900 pounds. So literally from 4,000 you remove 9,000. So that's literally your savings. So but this will be a number, isn't it? It's gonna be a number, let's say 4,000 or something. But you cannot store that number anywhere. You have to store it somewhere. So you will say let, and you will let that a name, and then you will declare a name. So I will say let savings, right? So my savings equals to total income minus expense. So this will literally give me my savings here, and I will do log and savings. So now I will have access to the savings as well. So that's just the example of how you can do it. And I also gave an example of how to use divide operator here, or multiply. Let's say you want to use multiply, right? You can literally do console.log. You can do 5 multiply by 5 here, I will write. So this one you will see 25 here. This this is how you can print a message with console.log, like comma and then inside these strings. So this is multiplication, and then if you want to show divide, then you can do like 10 divide by 5, and you can say this is division. And if you want to get the remainder, then you can say 10 divide 10%, right? So this is the symbol which you use, 10% 5, and you can say this. So you to always write the string or message into this brackets, this string brackets. So I can say this is module, I guess modular function something. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now if I save it and if I go on my inspect, so you click here inspect. So if you want to see your console.log, you have to do this, and you just have to remove the previous values and scan it. Now you can see. So 23, what is this 23? This 23 is my age, isn't it? So 2022 minus 1999, the first one. Then this 3000 is my basic salary, 4000 is my basic salary plus bonus, 900 is how much I basically spend on my food, like expense, and this is what is left after my expense. This is how you do multiplication, division, and see you got 0. So when you divide 10 by 5, you get 2, but the remainder is 0. So if you want to get the remainder, you do like this, like the dividend you get like this, multiplication is like this. So that's pretty much how you do it. And yeah, hope you liked how the way I teach you. And this was a really good way, like I literally teach you with example. If you like the way I teach, then please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, comment, and please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot to make more videos. And that's it. Check out my series on JavaScript. Hope you like all the videos. If you really watch all these episodes, all the videos I've created, try to watch like once a week, and I'm sure you'll learn JavaScript. And once you learn the language, it will be really easy for you to get job, crack interviews, anything like that. See you soon.